Hey guys, and welcome to this lesson. Today we're doing Elvis Presley, I Can't Help Falling in Love. Okay, it's a really cool song. Okay, it's fingerstyle, so it's going to be fun. We're going to do the guitar parts and the vocal melody together. So let's begin. Right, okay, so to start with, we're going to put a capo on fret 2. Okay, and what we've got is a variety of chords, all in the key of C. C, G, A minor, C and G for the intro. So it's C, G, A minor, and then a C, G split bar. Okay, and what we've got is a 6/8 time signature. So we're going to just do this intro first. Bar of C, picking pattern is going to be a standard 6/8 pattern. Okay, so it's string A string, G, B, high E, B, G. Or string 5, 3, 2, 1, 2, 3. Okay, so practice that. Nice bright tone, that's what we want throughout. We always want a nice bright tone. Then we're going to go to a G, but we only need a partial G here, where we need third frets of the low E and the B string. Okay, so third frets on the low E, third fret on the B. You can use a middle and ring, or you could use your ring and pinky. Ring and pinky is good if you struggle to change the G from C, because C to G, you're going to just do the ring and pinky version. All you got to do is from C, move your ring finger to the low E, pinky on, third fret on the B, and take your other finger off, and you're there. Or the other option is to do it where you jump across, with the middle coming across and the ring down. So use whichever version what you like. I use both versions, to be honest. It depends on how I feel. Right, okay. So you got. Then you're going to go into the G, whichever way you like, and you're going to pluck the low E, D, G, B, G, D, or string 6, 4, 3, 2, 3, 4. So it's a slight shift in the pattern there from the C. So far you got to the G, then we're going to go to A minor. Pattern is similar to what you just done on the G, except for the root note starts off on the A string. We're going to pluck A, D, G, B, G, D, which is string 5, 4, 3, 2, 3, 4. Okay, and then it's a little split bar of C to G, so 3 plucks on C, and that's just the A, D and G strings, or string 5, 4, 3, then into the G, and you're going to pluck the low E, D, G, or string 6, 4, 3. Okay, for that version of G you only need that third fret of the low E string, because the rest of the strings are open. Okay, so that's the intro done. All together it's this. So after 6, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. So it's a fairly simple intro, but it's a good one. Okay, now the fun really begins because we get into the verse. And this is where we're going to add the chords and the vocal melody together, what Elvis sings. Okay, so the verse we're splitting up into 2 parts. This is part 1. Okay, it starts off on the C again. Straight away, you can hear the sound of the song there. Okay, so the first bit is the word wise, which we hear in there. Okay, on that note in the C chord. Okay, so we've got the C chord. We're pinching the A string and the B string. Okay, and you can hear the word wise for the first bit of the melody. That's the note or where it's been sung. Okay, so it's a good idea when you're doing these fingerstyle arrangements to hear the melody of the song throughout. See if you can really highlight it. So you're going to plug that B string nice and loud. Okay, so you got 6 plucks because it's 6/8, and what you're doing is A and B together, nice and loud on the B. Then you're going to pluck the G, D, A, G, D. So it's A and B together, G, D. Then the next part is A, G, D. So it's strings 5 and 2 together, 3, 4, then it's 5, 3, 4. Okay. So you get that sounding good, take your time. Then we're going to go to a version of E minor. Okay, so it's not the standard E minor, it's actually the E minor where you got the 3rd fret of the high E string. Okay, but we don't need the A string in it, so what we're going to do is play E minor like this. It's the same chord, but we just stripped out the notes we don't need. We're playing the 2nd fret of the D string, 3rd fret of the high E. Okay, you can use the index and ring or index and pinky for this, whichever fingers you like. The melody here is man, wise man. We just had the word wise for the C chord, now the word man. Okay, and that's that 3rd fret high E. But we're plucking the low E and the high E together. Then the B, G, low E, G, D. So it's low E and high E, B, G, low E, G, D. Or strings 6 and 1, 2, 3, then string 6, string 3, string 4. So far we've got okay, notice how important it is to highlight these melody notes, otherwise you kind of get a little bit lost and the song doesn't sound anywhere near as good. Okay. That sounds better straight away. The fluency will come, so take your time. Then we're going to go A minor, and this is say, wise man say, or said, is it said, I think, wise man said. Okay, and we're plucking the A string and the B string together. Again, nice and loud on that B string especially. Then G, D, A, G, D. So it's a very similar pattern as you can see throughout this verse. Okay, so it's string 5 and 2, 3, 4, 5, 3, 4. Okay, then we stay in the A minor and we play the A string, G string, D string. Okay, so that's similar to what we've just done. So we're in the 4th bar now. This is, so 4th bar, A, G, D. Then we're gonna go A. Then the last 2 plucks of this bar are melody notes. Which are these? So you're going to add your pink yarn, 3rd fret of the B string, then pluck the open high E, and this is for the melody only. Only. And then we go to the F in a sec for falls. Okay, so we've just done the first 4 bars, let's play it together. We've got to play up to the word falls. Okay, so we've got bar 4. Okay, so we've done that. Don't worry about little gaps at the moment. Okay, then we're going to go into the F for falls, rush in. Let's rush and then in. So you can see the melody's very slow in this. It's just mainly one note per bar sang. Okay, so for this falls rush in part, it's F, and I'll play this version of F, little partial one. We don't need the low E or the A strings, but we do need the high E. Okay, at the first fret. So this version of F is good, 3rd fret D, 2nd fret G, and then index doing the bar across the B and high E. It's an awkward one. You have to practice and get good at this F if you're not already. Okay, so for falls rush in, falls is the word F, and we pluck in the D and the high E together. Then the B, G, D, B, G. So that's string 4 and 1. 2, 3, 4, 2, 3. And then for rush, we're on the C chord. Okay, we're plucking the A and high E. B, G, A, B, G. It's a nice simple pattern there. Okay, and that's string 5 and 1. 2, 3, 5, 2, 3. And then for the word in, we're on the G chord. We're doing that partial G again that we did earlier. 3rd fret on the low E and the B. Nothing else needed. Pluck in the low E and the B. G, D, low E, G, D. So string 6, 2 together, and then 3, 4, 6, 3, 4. Okay, and then to wrap it up, this part we're doing the G again, so we're staying on the G for the 4th bar now of this little section, and we're going low E, G, D, B. Okay, and then the next note, this note, the G string, links in for the word but. It's kind of a transitional pluck. But and then get so it's that sort of thing, and this is the but, so it kind of links in. Okay, so this part from the F from falls rush in is like this. And then I comes in on the next bit. Okay, so first part 1 all together, we're going to do all the way through now, just the first part anyway. And as the beat drops, we're going into verse part 2, which is, well, as I said, the I can't help falling in love part. Okay, and what we're doing here is playing the F again, but this time we're pinching the D and the G, then the D, G, B, G, D. So string 4 and 3, and then it's 4, 3, 2, 3, 4. So it's this. Into the G, and we need the G with the open B string now, so it's a nice easy one. So only need the 3rd fret of the low E. And what we're doing is low E and B, G, D, low E, G, D. So string 6 and 2, 3, 4, 6, 3, 4. Then A minor for the word help, and it's the A and B. So A and B together, then the G, D, A, G, D. So you can see a lot of little repeating patterns here. This has already been played, this bar already, earlier on. Okay, so string 5 and 2, 3, 4, 5, 3, 4. Then there's a little nice bit here. And that's 4, love. Okay. Falling in love. Okay, that's what we're getting there. Okay, so all we're doing here for falling in is 3rd fret, D and B strings. I use my ring and pinky here because it frees up my index for the next bit. So it's D and B at the 3rd frets. Open high E, 1st fret, high E. Okay, and let these notes ring out while you're doing it. So you don't get, that doesn't sound as good. Definitely want to make sure that D string rings out, that's the important one. And then for the word love, we go back to C and we pluck the we pluck the A string and the high E. A and high E together, B, G, A, B, G. String 5 and 1, 2, 3, 5, 2, 3. And then for the word with, we go back to G, which is the 3rd fret B string version needed. And we pluck the low E and B, then the G, D, low E, G, D. And then for the word U, it's back to the C. And it's the A and B, G, D, A, G, D. And then finally finish on the A string. Okay, so that's strings 5 and 2, 3, 4, 5, 3, 4, and then A string. Let's play part 2 of the verse together all the way through. So we've just done but. That's the verse part 1 and part 2 done. Maybe have a little break now because there's quite a lot going on there. It's a lot of repeating patterns, but there's subtle differences between the patterns. Okay, we're going to tackle the chorus now, which is where it changes a little bit. It's mostly based around the E minor to B7. So practice your E minor and your B7. There's also an A7, a D minor, and then the G. Okay, so the pattern here is very repeated. So it's E minor to B7, and this exact thing happens 3 times now. This is on the words, like a river flows surely in the sea. So it changes up the feel a little bit here. Okay, so it's E minor. You don't actually need anything on the A string because you're not plucking it, but I'll put my finger on there anyway just because I like to. We're plucking the lower E string and the B string together. Then the B again. Okay, so you're going to have to choose your fingers wisely here. Are you going to use the middle finger to pluck that B string twice? Or are you going to alternate? Because you could start off with the index and then use the middle because you're on the same string. So you're going to have to just think about what fingers to use. Try and stick with standard finger picking rules. Personally, I'd do a double pluck with the B string with the middle finger. Okay, because it's not fast, so you can do it. So it's low E and B string together. B string again with the middle. G, D, open high E, then 3rd fret high E. At this point, I take my other fingers off, get a 3rd fret on the high E with the pinky. Okay, and that leads me in nicely with the B7. So just repeat that E minor bar. Okay, then into the B7. So all I'm doing for the B7, I'm sliding my pinky down to the 2nd fret and I'm putting my other fingers in position. Okay, I'm playing the pattern there. So the pattern on the B7 is A and high E, B, G, D, G, D. So all together, that little section, this is worth really spending a bit of time on, perfecting. is low E and B, B, G, D, open high E, lose the shape, pinky on 3rd fret high E, into your B7, slide that pinky down, then it's A and high E, B, G, D, G, D, and repeat. And then do it again. And again. And that's 3 times altogether. And then we go back to E minor for the 4th time. But this time slightly different, and we pluck in the low E and high E. High E again. B, G, D, B. So string 6 and 1, 1, 2, 3, 4, 2. Then we're going into A7. And we're plucking the A and high E. B, G, D, G, B. So that's a simple pattern, it's just working up and down. Then into D minor. Same sort of idea. It's D string and high E. B, G, and then D, G, B. So you're just working your way back up. Okay, and then we go to a G, and all I do here is play the G. I do it with the ring finger on the 3rd fret and the pinky on the 3rd fret of the B and high E. And I do a couple of little pinches just to break it up. So it's a pinch on the low E and the G, B and high E. Then I pinch the G, B a couple of times. It's like 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. So let's play the chorus now all the way through. Okay, and then you go back into the verse. Okay, and you have a lot of fun with it. You've basically got the intro, the verse part 1, verse part 2, and the chorus. It's a pretty good song to start off with if you're new to fingerstyle arrangements, because it's not as complicated as some. Some are very difficult. It's mostly chord tones, so in other words, just normal finger picking, as you would if you was playing it instrumentally. But you've got the melody at the beginning of each bar, usually on beat 1, and it comes in at various points. So it gives you something else there, and it's quite distinctive. It's quite lovely as well. A bit more interesting than playing it as just an instrumental, unless you're singing it. But adding the vocal melody in there to make it a fingerstyle arrangement isn't too hard. So it's a fantastic song anyway, but it sounds really good on guitar. It works really nicely, and the tempo is quite nice and steady, so it's a lovely one. So I hope you enjoyed it, and I'll see you in a video soon. Let me know what you think. Cheers. Bye bye.